Grenadines. It's now 7:15 a.m. and this time check came to you with the compliments of Republic Bank.
We're invested in your success.
I need to pay my final year tuition.
We're invested in your happiness. I want the biggest wedding ever for the love of my life. We're invested in your peace of mind.
A home of my own? Finally.
At Republic Bank, we're invested in you. Your dreams, your goals, your wants and needs drive us to be our best selves. It's because of you we innovate and push forward. A Caribbean bank serving the Caribbean for almost 2 centuries. Call or come in and talk to us about your goals today. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
99.9 WEFM.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
The time is now 7:16 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and welcome to Activated Mornings. Usually I start the morning by saying good morning to everyone, but good morning to all the boys in Miller this morning.
Wow,
Only.
so yesterday was high school and today is Miller. Is grammar school?
Yes, this morning is Grammar School's road relay starting at 9 a.m. and yeah, everybody but Miller. I have nothing else to say to you. But you're listening to Ari, and with me today is Roleza, and we are Activated Mornings for today, February 6, 2024. And we're going to dive into it. Good morning, Roleza.
Good morning, Ari. And as usual, how are you?
I am well.
And blessed, and highly favored,
and all of that.
and still enjoying your Black History Month because all things Black and excellent you're recognizing in this month.
Yes, except for my, Miller House. Well, Miller House in itself is Black excellence, so that's all I have to say on the topic. That is all I have to say on that topic this morning. What I would say, though, is I came across a very interesting article earlier. I think it was on Friday that said Sandals will be SVG's largest employer.
Well, I guess the word private probably needs to go in there. I want to think that the biggest employer would be government.
I wonder. I do wonder. But Sandals, they're claiming that they currently have over 500 Vincentians working on the site, plus some foreigners. And when the hotel is open, it's going to open with 575 local workers working there. And they're going to ramp up till the next tourist season so that in January of next year, they are going to have 900 Vincentians working there. And that is according to Minister of Finance, Camilo Gonzalez, who said that as they toured the resort last week. Sandals Resort in Vincent and the Grenadines currently has hundreds of local workers involved in the construction phase of the project. Regional Project Manager Terence Devine, I believe, said there are over 1,000 workers on every site, more than 500 of whom are Vincentians, and 400 of these locals are directly involved in construction, painting, plumbing, and electrical work, while more than 100 are involved in landscaping. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, along with other cabinet ministers, and a contingent of teachers and students from the technical division of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College made a tour of the resort on Tuesday, January 30th. When the resort is completed, it will provide employment for more than 800 Vincentians, making it one of the largest private sector employers in the country. The resort is expected to be opened in March this year. Makes me wonder, how many persons are employed by couriers? I'd like
and
to
Mustique
believe.
as well. I think because Mustique is also one of the leading companies with a large amount of employees. Yeah, I'm not sure how many are employed by either of those companies, but yeah.
Give me some volume in my headphone, please. Yeah, it makes me wonder how many employees are there at couriers. Korea's has its various branches. There's the mechanics, there's pharmacy, there's the mini-marts, there is the fact that it's split, Korea's and Korea's Hazels Inc.
And I think an automotive section, Nissan. Well, I didn't read the article, but I think they opened a Nissan showroom recently. Something to that effect, yeah.
I'd like to see those numbers. So, I don't know. 800 is a lot of people, but I wonder if there's another person another employer, at least in the private sector, that has a larger workforce, because Sandals is just one resort. I'm pretty sure Korea's, the way Korea's kind of have its hands in a lot of different things. Makes me wonder
divisions.
what is the employee count, what is the head count for Korea's. But it is good news, and I do hope that we'll continue to keep more and more Vincentians employed at the resort. And I do hope that what we saw was a small fraction of persons who would have been displeased with the salaries. But I do believe that a majority of people would in fact be satisfied with whatever they receive from Sandals. Well, I'm just curious to see what to expect. I'm curious to see what will happen when Sandals does open over the next few months.
Curious in what way, though?
To see what the feedback would be from employees. Curious to see what the turnout would be like. Curious to see if they will incorporate a lot of Vincentian businesses in their day-to-day dealings. Curious to see what exactly the resort will offer to locals as well as the foreign visitors.
Okay. Well, I mean, as with anything new, it will go through what's it you call a teething process. Both for employees as well as the employers. This being one of those projects that is being hailed or recognized, apart from the employment of persons here locally, I think what it is that I'm hoping to see is SVG's name through Sandals, marketing, etc., being put out there a bit more for persons who may not have been familiar with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? And, not just necessarily, I know that it's going to be an, sorry. Clearly I wake up fully as yet. Sorry, listeners. Not just knowing the fact that it's going to be an all-inclusive resort. I really would like or hope that the type of guests that they have would be the type of guests who may want to explore past the resort, to be able to take in as much of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because one of the things that I always say is that one of my beliefs has always been that St. Vincent and the Grenadines should have been one of the leading tourist destinations within the region, within the world, given the fact that mainland, we can typically all categorize that for ecotourism, and then the Grenadines, for the sun, sea, and sand type of tourists who prefer that type of relaxation. So I'm hoping that the guests that Sandals would be the type to want to venture past the resort, to see a bit more of the island, and hopefully not just return to Sandals for another visit, but maybe come back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines when we have seasonal activities such as carnival, etc., in a way that they fall in love with the island so much that they want to return. So that is what I hope, but that is my expectation coming out of the opening of Sandals.
So one thing there, you hope that Sandals would have more Vincentian content to promote St. Vincent. I think they already started doing that. I've seen at least 3 videos. And the executives of Sandals have been quite open with their discussion about St. Vincent and the Grenadines and promoting St. Vincent and the Grenadines already. So I guess what you meant to say is you hope to see what they will continue to do to promote St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, they just started. So as I said,
already began.
Yeah, okay.
Whether they just started or not, they already began. So In other news, Taiwan's ambassador donates $56,000 to help young girls facing challenges in SVG. So, according to One News St. Vincent, ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Her Excellency Fiona Fan, has donated EC 56,000 to help girls in SVG who are facing challenges. According to a February 5th press release from the Agency of Public Information, the API, Ambassador Fan handed over a donation of 56,000 EC, equivalent to 20,832 USD, to the Dame Susan Duggan Foundation during a ceremony at Government House today. Well, that was yesterday, February 5th. The funds were formally presented by the Governor General, Her Excellency Susan Duggan, at the ceremony, according to the release. The donation is aimed at supporting young girls facing challenges within the traditional educational system, either by reintegrating them into a formal schooling or providing them with valuable skills to contribute meaningfully to their economy. This initiative aligns with the Women's Empowerment Project initiated by the government of Taiwan 2 years ago, the release stated. Her Excellency Fiona Fan said it is her belief that empowering women is an investment in their individual potential and a catalyst for societal stability and prosperity, the release further stated. Her Excellency Fiona Fan presented her credentials to the Governor General Susan Duggan on July 26, 2023, and became Taiwan's new ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She replaced His Excellency Peter Sha Li Lan, who held the post since September 2021. Meanwhile, Governor General Susan Duggan also spoke at Monday's brief ceremony. According to the API, she expressed her gratitude for the contribution. She highlighted the significance of this initiative in creating additional educational opportunities for young, vulnerable students, especially girls, within St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The funding will be directed towards assisting the vulnerable and disadvantaged within schools and societies, focusing on protection, education, and safety, particularly for young girls, the release stated. The Governor General noted that the donation shows Taiwan's commitment to women's empowerment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The event was attended by various dignitaries, including Vice Chancellor Ms. Tranik Chin, First Secretary Ms. Yuping Su, Facilitator for Dame Susan Foundation Ms. Alex Grant, Mrs. Carmi Francis from the Ministry of Education, and trustees Ms. Gail Branch and Mrs. Nicola Evans, according to the API. I think this is interesting, but I wonder how exactly this money is going to be split up. How exactly is the fund planning to really use this money? Like we have a kind of blanket term, girls who are facing challenges in SVG, reintegrating them into formal schooling, providing them with valuable skills. But how exactly are they going to do that? Not saying that it's something bad, but I'm curious as to how exactly they would plan on doing something like this. But I think that's a good start to your ambassadorship. I think Miss Fiona Fan, well, not really a start, but yeah. I am grateful as of intention for the donation by Miss Fiona Fan. But yeah, what do you think?
Okay, I think I was trying to, okay, now that you brought it up, because I didn't get to do the research on it before. I think last year, the Governor General did start this foundation, and I'm trying to, okay, I look for it in the after, but so I do remember the story of the Governor General starting a foundation last year. In terms of what all the foundation aims to cover, I can't speak of off the top of my head. But any initiative that helps to reach out to girls, to vulnerable girls, I will always be for. I think that many of our girls need to recognize their self-worth. Maybe sometimes this has to come in the form of counseling. Some of them need to recognize that it is possible for them to achieve the things that they want to achieve. It might just take some time. Their circumstances or their initial circumstances do not have to define the course of their life. So any assistance that could be given to girls within this regard, I will always be up for. I do have to also say though, while it is that I am for this, I would hope to at least see a similar venture possibly being done for boys as well. Because we do have, there have been instances over the years, over the decades, where boys have been seemingly marginalized. And, we are advancing the young girls, so we're advancing girls and women. However, some of the men seem to be or the boys seem to be falling by the wayside. And, we do have to coexist. We can't have necessarily one group advancing over the other, knowing that, in time to come, they have to live together. Or to live, work together. So I am all for this initiative, but I would like to possibly see something similar happening with regards to our vulnerable young men.
Cool. The time is now 7:31. We're gonna break now, and we'll be back at 7:35 with traffic talk, and again at 7:45 when activated mornings continue.
Save up to 30% store-wide. Now that's unbeatable value you will love. Find it only at Quartz. We've got the best range in appliances, electronics, furniture, and so much more. With the best quality and the best prices. Now that's a match you'll love. Get it today with no cash and pay over time. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Offer ends February 24, 2024.
Sparrows, rum of pure sophistication. Sparrows, rum, aged to perfection. Skillfully crafted and forged with time in oak barrels. A rum so divine. Discover authentic Caribbean rum. Sparrows, premium rum. Sparrows, full-bodied rum. Sparrows, pure sophistication. Discover authentic Vincentian rum. Sparrows, premium rum.
Distilled and blended by St. Vincent Distillers Limited. Please drink responsibly.
Agents, Careers, Distributions Limited.
Do you spin a dial to make a call on your rotary phone from the 60s?
No.
Are you driving an unreliable